Okay, welcome to our demo of our Bridgeport milling machine. It's got a belt drive head, it's got the 48-inch table, 3-axis DRO, Techno gardening system and a new power feed on the X-axis here. So this machine's had a stripped down service. We've reground the table only. We haven't need to do the Y-axis or the column because they're already in really good condition. And this one's at a lower price level because we haven't had to need to do those works. Again, we haven't replaced the lead screws with brand new, but they're already almost like new anyway. They really are in good condition. So let's go through the machine now on a virtual video demo, and obviously please come down and see it for yourself in real life. If you want to press subscribe, please feel free to do so, and have a little look in the comments below regarding some of the websites we've got as far as the other machines we do and the DRO systems which you sell separately. We do actually sell the guards sometimes for Techno as well. Okay, so lovely X-axis, dead smooth all the way across, lead screws like new, really nice. As I say, we've reground the table and just because there's a few marks in it, so we've filled them and reground that, and it looks really great now. You can see some close-ups of that on some separate pictures. Okay, so X-axis done, Y-axis lovely and smooth all the way across. Should be able to see it on the DRO there. Really nice, lead screws like new, almost no backlash at all. As I say, these chrome bedways are in excellent condition. The knee, again, it's all been serviced, that's all running great. There's a brand new bearing in there as well. We do that on absolutely every machine, replace the bearing. It's because the original ones have actually got a rubber seal, and we do replace that with a bearing with a steel seal to obviously stop that problem happening again. Okay, so the locks, the knee locks all been serviced, the Y and the X have all been serviced, they're working great. The lube system, obviously there's no point doing all that work without making sure your lube is good. So we've replaced the pipe, replaced the metering units, and we've serviced the pump and made sure it's all working and you've got good flow to all the bedways. So that's all good and give you good peace of mind. So the lube pump, BD68, in case you're wondering what type of oil to put in there, that's the specification or the viscosity for the oil. So again, that also is the same oil that goes in these little pots here, and then a little bit down the drawbar as well. So make sure you oil all the areas, keep the machine in good condition. We fitted a light, an LED light. It's IP65 sealed, and the button's just on the bottom there. It's like a little rubberized button. It's ideal for sort of the dark winter nights we've still got. Okay, so moving on, let's test the belt drive head and the quill. Now with this head, what we've got here is, so if you pick a middle range belt, you probably never need to remove the belt again because it's got the twin speed motor. So it's got 2 speeds on the motor, and then you've got the low and the high range on the gears. So it's basically got, for every belt change, you've got 4 different speed ranges. Pretty much just covers 80% of what you're ever going to do. Okay, so firing up on the motor, that's the first speed, that's the second speed, both really good, really quiet. That's reverse, and then the higher speed in reverse. Both working good. Unfortunately someone's calling me, I'll just turn them off. Okay, so there's both those speeds done. Let's change it now to, so we're currently in high range, we're going to change to low range. So this gear at the back, this knob at the back is currently in out. You want to go to in. Oh, you have to turn the gears, turn the spindle sometimes. So moving that forward into in, and remove this one round, and now we're in low range. And we'll test it again in low range. It's just as quiet in low. There's the 2 speeds on the motor. That's the 2 different noises. Again in reverse now. Both just as quiet. Okay, we'll just hit the brake just to show you working. We tend to only use the brake for take the tools out. So when you need to hold the drawbar and tighten it up or loosen it, that's the only time you need to use the brake really. It's not for slowing the spindle down, it slows down just as fast on its own. So just make sure your brake is sort of in the middle distance, so we should be nice and loose there. If it's stuck one way or the other, obviously you go to start the motor up. You know, if you do feel like it's not stop immediately, and just have a look at that brake. It could be that you've cranked it over or something like that. Okay, so very importantly now, let's change from low to high range, and this is there's a little trick you've got to watch out for here. This is on all the belt drives, not just this one, all of them are like this. Okay, so this lever on the side, you're going to put back to out. This lever on the top, put back to the front. And before you fire up, this is absolutely critical. You must turn the spindle, because what you need to do is to basically move this whole assembly down into engage in a big gear here. So it needs to jump down and engage. So when we do that, we turn the spindle. You hear that pop? It's critical you hear that before you fire up. Once you've done that, you're safe. Fires up just great. It's only when you're going from low to high and not the other way around. So it's only from low to high. So if you've got a new operator on the machine, just let him watch the video again, just to remind him. So if he's got the wrong, the gear's in the wrong place again, it will lock up. So again, if you feel the motor, you've turned the start button on the motor and it doesn't start straight away, immediately stop and just check these gears at the side here. Okay, so in high range, that's at the front, and that's it, and then the back on this side gear needs to be an out. Okay, I can do you another video, a closer up one, if you wish as well. Okay, so that's the spindle tested. So let's go on to testing the quill now. Okay, so we're in high range. Fire up. And again, before we test the quill now, just make sure the lock is off. So there's a quill lock here. Make sure that lock's off. Okay, and before we pull this lever, we need to make sure that this here is not all the way at the top or all the way at the bottom. The reason for that is the whole assembly needs to lift. So if it's all the way at the top, it can't lift because there's a stop up there which moves as well. So you see that at the moment, it's wants to go back up. So we don't want it to go up, we want it to go down. So we push in the feed reverse lever in, and it'll reverse the feed for us. So again, pull it in gently. So if there's any sort of resistance on there, just stop and just have a look where that little stop is, and come off the stop and it'll be fine. Okay, so for every spindle speed, we've got 3 different feed rates. That's the top feed rate, that's the slowest when it's horizontal, and that's the medium when it's down the bottom. They're all working great. I'll let it come down to the bottom of this stop here and trip out automatically for you. Okay, that's working great. Again, before I go to engage the feed back up now, I'm going to come off the stop. I'm going to reverse the feed, and then I'm going to operate the feed handle, and it feeds up just fine as well. Okay, so turn the spindle off now. I'll move the quill all the way to the top of the travel, and then I'm going to lock the quill, and you see it locks just fine. So for any heavy milling, obviously you put up the quill all the way to the top and lock the spindle. Okay, so yeah, demo over. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to press subscribe, and if you want to, come down and see it for yourself in real life. Thanks for watching.